How's it going, guys? This is my S1000RR 2022. The next time I'll be riding, Friday I went down to Blood Mountain in Georgia and rode it. Unfortunately, when I got to going up Blood Mountain, it had rained there right before I got there. Look at my dustpan. I was out here sweeping some of this gravel up and stuff. But yeah, couldn't ride it like I wanted to because the roads were wet. But it was a good ride. Overall trip was probably about 500 miles. I left at 8 o'clock in the morning and I got back late that day. So it was overall a good trip. Wished it wouldn't rain because I'd planned on doing a few runs on the Blood Mountain up and down, but it was wet, so parts of it was dry, parts of it was wet, but I didn't really want to take a chance. I'd already slipped a little bit on it. They're long, sweeping, sharp curves, so I didn't really want to take a chance with it being wet. So I just went up it, stopped at the top, and then went on my way. And beautiful scenery up there. People in Georgia on them back roads, they like to move pretty good, so that wasn't too much of an issue. Yeah, they were doing 60, 70 miles an hour on the back roads, so yeah, them people down there, you ran into very few. In my first trip down there, I ran into very few people on the back roads that were just going slow. So it was a fun trip. I now have 17,700 miles on my bike. So the next time I'll be riding this is down to the dealership in Charlotte to get its 18,000 mile service. They're going to do the valves. If it needs to be done, they got to check them. They're going to replace the fork seal oil, the spark plugs, and whatever else the 18,000 mile service entails. But yeah, guys, I've had this bike for over 2 years. I think I got like in April of 2022. I brand tuned it, full exhaust, M4 exhaust, Sprint air filter at 600 miles at the first service, and I've never had an issue out of this bike so far. Will I have it? Maybe. I don't know. I think eventually all machines give you issues eventually, but so far this thing has been flawless. I did drop it also 2 inches, as you can tell by the they're popped up some. It still corners great. It doesn't really affect it, except how I can still, you know, pretty well lean this thing. I mean, you can lean it right over to where the pegs are scraping. But it still corners very, very well. And no problems, issues with it cornering. I know a lot of people say like the chicken strips. You can tell these are 255 tires. It's very hard to lean far enough to get over on the edge of these 200s on the actual road. On track, you could probably do it, but you're going to be leaned over. Like you're probably going to be touching the pavement because it's harder to get these leaned over than a 190. In my personal opinion, I've had 190 on my Busa, and I went to a 200 on it, and it's much harder to get these leaned over all the way on the 255s than it is the 190s, in my opinion. Like I said, you can lean it over, and like I said, on the road street, I don't know if you'd want to be leaning that far. Some guys will. If you're familiar with the road and you know it's clean. A lot of times out here already back roads, there's animals, there's gravel and sand in the road, so you gotta be careful how far you lean over. I'm gonna take, of course, my audio cable off. This pole's fixing to go down because it is I'm not going to have it for like a week because I'm going to take it down next Friday. And I probably won't be able to get it back for probably like a week. Just because I got to have somebody take me down there. I don't have a trailer. I need to get a trailer for my car, a trailer hitch and trailer, so I can pull it to places and not have to worry about like at the dealership, and can go back and get it without having to need somebody to drive me there, or taking an Uber or anything else, because Ubers from Charlotte's pretty expensive. But it's been a fantastic bike. I know a lot of people's had issues out of S1000s. I've not had one issue out of this one. Still got the original Enduro chain. I keep my chains lubed. I have changed the rear sprocket. I went from a 45 to a 44 to a 42. I didn't like the 42. Now I'm on a 43 rear sprocket. I love that 2 sprocket. I'm eventually going to have to change the chain and probably the front sprocket, get a different one of those. And I've not had no slippage of my clutch, so I don't know exactly when I'm going to change it, but I've heard the clutch plates for S1000RRs are like $1,200, so that's definitely going to be a bill. But yeah, it's been an awesome bike. I can't complain. Plenty of power. It's comfortable to ride. I'm getting like, 37, a little over 37 miles to the gallon average. Now, if you're hauling ass, you're not going to get that, but just riding around, riding interstates, yeah. But I do recommend this bike. I know you see a lot of people have issues with them. I know some of the M1000s, I don't have one of those, so I can't, you see them blowing up and stuff. I don't know. I do need to clean this thing up. It's dirty. I rode through the rain Friday. I did run into some rain, so I did lube my chain up. I always make sure if I ride through rain, it automatically gets cleaned and lubed when I get home. Other than that, I do it usually about every 500 to 1,000 miles, usually around 500. But this bike has been awesome. Can't complain with it. Still miss my Busa. I plan on getting me another Busa. I love my Hayabusa. That thing was very comfortable, and it's just a different ride, a different sound, a different feel, because it has more torque. The torque delivery on it is just different. But yeah, I do love this bike also. I'm building a little bit dirty in here right now, but it'll be all right. But this is usually where I keep it. When I keep it in here, it stays on the rear stand. Eventually I'll get some more forged carbon parts for it. Probably change this front piece out, the front forged carbon, and then eventually these sides, and then work on probably this piece. That stuff's not cheap. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much like my little over 2-year review on this bike. Never had an issue out of it. Now, once they do the valves, check the valves, they crack the valve, the valve cover on it, and do whatever they gotta do. Hopefully, I don't run into any issues. You always got issues when people are messing with your bikes. I try to do everything I can to it without involving the dealership, but I did pay for the maintenance package when I bought it. It was $1,500. They do the first, everything, nothing comes out of my pocket when they do the service. They do the service every 6,000 miles. They do the first service, they unlock it, they change the oil, they bleed the brakes, whatever. And then every 6,000 miles after that, come 18,000 mile service. All that's taken care of, nothing out of my pocket. Not for the valve, checking the valve, not for doing the fork seal oil, changing spark plug, none of that stuff's out of my pocket. It's all included in that maintenance package. So it was $1,500 back in 2022 when I got it. So I don't know how much it is now, but in my opinion, it's worth it, because I mean, if you're a person that can't change your own oil or do maintenance to your bike, it is very costly when you go to the dealer, especially BMW dealership. I think just the oil change down there is like 300 something bucks. I do the oil change in between their oil changes, so I change mine every 3,000 miles. It's like last time I bought oil and a filter, it was $106 just for the factory oil and filter. 4 quarts and a filter, $106. Suzuki, when I had my Hayabusa, half that. 4 quarts and a filter, $55. So yes, BMW and imagine Ducati's right up there, if not more expensive. They are more expensive to upkeep than Japanese bikes. So I just think the maintenance package is worth it if you can't do a lot of that work yourself, or you know, you just don't want to bother doing it. I do change my oil. I did my own exhaust. I changed my own rear sprockets out. I put my own Sprint air filter in there. I usually do my own brakes. I try to do everything I can. I tuned it myself with Bren Tune. You know, he's the handheld and all that. I done myself. It's not hard, but I do recommend these bikes. And this is the this carbon fiber pole is the Tellison. This is the Generation 2. I think they have the Gen 3 out now. I know a lot of people ask me. This is the brackets I brought off Amazon. They're like $14, something like that. These are the small ones. You get the large ones. I could only fit one of the rubber pieces in there. I've thought about buying a one-piece carbon fiber pole and doing me. I got an extra piece where I could put down in there and resin it in to get rid of the segments. Just get me like a 4 to 5 foot long solid, not solid, but you know, one-piece carbon fiber pole, and instead of this segmented one. But this one's been fine. I've had it up to 170 with the X4 on it, and then 170 plus, around 170, and the X3. You know, the X4 is a little bit heavier, but I've never had an issue out of this pole. It's been very strong. These clamps, I mean, it's very stable, and I tape mine around so it don't vibrate down or anything, because sometimes it will. So yeah, if you're looking for a pole, the Tellison, that's T-E-L-E-S-I-N. I think they have, like I said, the Gen 3 out now, and they're around, I guess, 50 or 60 bucks. I've also had the Insta360 carbon fiber pole, the bigger one with the yellow band. To me, it works fine too. I've had my X3 up to 180 with it. Not in these, I just had it clamped here with a motorcycle clamp, and then on my passenger peg had it zip tied. But to me, it's just bulkier, and this one, you can put it down when you're not in use. Just a great pole, I think. But generally, I leave it up. I don't even put it up and down, because I use my X4, X3 all the time. I record a lot. If nothing else, for safety purposes, something happens, you have recordings of it. So yeah, I've thought about eBay. You can get the solid piece, one piece, different colors, some too, like blue, red, carbon fiber poles, and get one of those about 4 to 5 foot and use one of those, because like I said, usually I just leave it up. And when I stop places, I just take my camera off. Of course, I got this. I got from Amazon. to this, and I just screwed my camera up. Got my mic underneath the seat, picks up the exhaust good. And yeah guys, that's pretty much about everything. Like I said, almost 18,000 miles on it. And I've split that from, I also had an Suzuki M109R I had when I got this, so I was riding that also. And then I got my Hayabusa 2023 Hayabusa. I put 10,000 miles on that while I had this one also. So I've been doing, I ride just back and forth to work. That's like 200 miles a week right there. Then I go riding on weekends. I go riding with the Speed Seeker crew in South Carolina. I go riding in the mountains on my own. I'm just always going to riding around if it ain't nothing but around town. I put 30,000 miles on my M109R when I had it in a year and a half. 10,000 on the 2023 Hayabusa, but I had to have an operation. Had a hernia, had to go take care of that. So I was out of work for a while, and the economy, so I had payments on it, so I got rid of it, just so it wouldn't be payments wouldn't be any stress. This one's paid off, so I didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, I definitely plan on getting me another Hayabusa. I'd really love to have one of them orange ones, but I don't know. We'll see what color schemes they got out when I'm ready to get one. Maybe probably next year somewhere. I'm hoping the economy gets better. But yeah, guys, if you never rode on a Hayabusa, they are definitely they are heavy. You can't really tell it though once it starts moving. They are very comfortable. And the sound is just, once you put an aftermarket exhaust on them, especially if you put a shorty, if you put a short exhaust on there, it might be a little too loud for you. I had to ride around with my earbuds, which I usually do anyway, or earplug, because it does get loud. So, but it's a whole different exhaust note than the 1000s, and the torque feel is completely different. I love my Hayabusa. It was very enjoyable. And I do plan on getting me another one. They are just a great bike. I know a lot of people, well, they're not as fast as 1000. Well, sometimes you can build them to be faster than 1000. You can lighten them up to be faster than 1000, even with the stock motor. But with that saying, you can build a motor for them things to be very fast. And you can turbocharge them, you can supercharge them. But just as a stock bike, they are awesome bikes. They are so comfortable to ride. They got that big, fat, wide, cushy seat. The passenger seat is pretty wide and cushy. I like these small seats on these 1000. I don't see how any women like to ride on them things. I think that would hurt their rear end. But yeah, I'll be without my baby for probably about a week. So I can go get it back till they finish up. And she'll be ready to go for, hopefully I'll get 100,000 miles out of this bike. I do not abuse my bikes. I run it. I do not abuse it. I do not sit there and just rev bomb it. I do not go down the highway holding it in second or third gear for long periods of time. I stay in the upper gears unless I'm racing. Then I extend out the rev range on them, near to the red line. But I don't abuse my bikes. I want them to last. And that's really why I don't like buying used bike, because you see on videos people like sit there and just rev bomb them until the exhaust turn cherry red. And I want my bike to last. They're a lot of money, put a lot of time and money and parts in these things. And I just want mine to last. Hopefully 100,000 miles. Hopefully, when something happens to me, this will still be here for my grandsons, for one of them to ride it, or both of them to ride it. Maybe, hopefully I have my Busa 2 at the time. And, they'll each get one. But I try to take care of them. I change my oil every 3,000 miles on them. I keep my chain lubed. I try to, try to keep it up as best as possible, but I do like to run them too. I just don't abuse it. Alright guys, this has been Father Time. Hope y'all getting out there and riding. Hope you're all enjoying the weather. It's been hot, but I like hot weather. Just stay hydrated. As long as you stay hydrated, you'll be alright. I'm definitely going to see about getting a custom seat eventually for this thing too. Something that's a little bit more comfortable when riding long distance, because after about 3 to 4 hours in that seat, it does start to hurt your tailbone after a while. But alright guys, y'all have a good one, and we will see you later.